Hey, welcome to another episode of Cider Saturday with me, Chad, of Chad's Beer Reviews. Going back to the Woodchuck mix pack. This one's called Granny Smith Tart Green Apple, 5% ABV. It says it's blended with Granny Smith apples for a crisp taste that finishes tart and tangy. 150 calories. Look, 10 grams of added sugars. Wow. This can's kind of old. It was from last summer, it looks like. Anyway, pour it into the glass. It looks clear coming out of the can, but once it's in the glass, it has like this white gold, maybe straw color. Brilliant clarity. It's like almost glowing. You know, it kind of looks like champagne. It's actually clearer than champagne. See a little, there's I don't know, oh yeah, you can see the, you can see my thumb. The carbonation just streaming. Let's give this a smell. I will say it does smell like Granny Smith apples, or somewhat. It has a sweet kind of pie aroma. I mean, it should. It's got all that added sugar, so. You know what it reminds me of is like those Hostess pie, like, you know, those things that you get like at the checkout counter. They're like, you know, 300 calories and like 100 grams of sugar, you know? Kind of smells like that. There's definitely a little bit of acidity on here, I can tell. But, yeah, it smells like a pretty clean cider. Let's give it a whirl. Cheers. Wow. You know, one thing I will say about cider, compared to beer, is that it has much longer shelf life. Even though this can is coming up on almost a year old, it still tastes pretty fresh. It doesn't have like any stale quality to it. Actually has like, you know, a pretty, like as soon as it hit my tongue, I was like, wow, that actually has a lot of flavor. In fact, I would say out of all the four, well, I still have another one in the fridge, of the Woodchucks that I've been reviewing the last few months, this one, right off the rip, seems to be the most flavorful. I would say like this is, bear in mind, this is not 100% Granny Smith apples. It's just they threw some Granny Smith in the mix. So this, to me, does come off as kind of like a, you know, more of like a standard red apple, like Macintosh, something like that. Mostly, but then the Granny Smith is there kind of, I'm not saying the background, because it's not completely in the background, but it's not completely in the foreground either. It's in the middle ground, I guess. Granny Smith adding that lovely tartness to it, and just like that, the Granny Smith apple taste. After I finish each sip, has like this almost kind of like a, almost like a Sour Patch Kids kind of thing going for it. You know, like it's not sour. It's just, I mean, definitely say it's tart, and it's definitely a little acidic. So I mean, maybe you could say it's like slightly sour, but it's not like sour in the way of like a, you know, Flanders Red or some kind of like a Goose or Lambic, or even like a modern quick kettle sour. It's only 5% ABV. I think all the Woodchuck ciders are 5% more or less. Yeah, it's very light. It's refreshing all to the mouth. Like there's a slight tannic quality on there, but of all the Woodchucks that I've had, it seems to be like the least tannic of them all, at least so far. I still have one more left down there. I gotta get to that one. Yeah, I really like the taste of this. This is surprisingly good considering this can's, you know, coming up on a year old. Yeah, so I like the balance of like, you know, adding the Granny Smith without it like completely overshadowing the base cider. Good mix of like juicy, I assume Macintosh or something like that, those kind of apples. Maybe like a little bit of Honeycrisp or something in there. I would not call this like super tart. And it's funny because like it has all that, you know, 10 grams of added sugar, but I would not call this one like super sweet. You know, some of the beers or ciders that I've had have been, you know, just straight up like Mott's apple juice, but this isn't like that. I think like the tannic on the finish, you know, give it like a slight kind of woody, kind of rustic thing to kind of balance it out. And like I said, it is quite tart. Finish is mostly clean, not, you know, perfectly clean, but yeah. I'm surprised. I really like this one. I'm going to go pretty high. I'm going to give a 9 out of 10 to the Woodchuck Granny Smith Imagine how much I would like it if it was a very fresh can. So if I can find a fresher one, maybe I'll re-review it, or I don't know, maybe just on Untappd. All right, so I'm Ramblin'. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. Regular Chad's Beer Reviews is here 6 days a week. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it.
Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.